I'm Mark Magaro, Director of Reflections in the Emerald Isle. I'm going to share with you the journey of how this film was made. My fascination with Ireland began back in 2008. I had traveled to Ireland then on vacation with my girlfriend, where we cycled the countryside. The relationship was going downhill, and my memories of the trip were terrible. By the end of the voyage, I was an emotional wreck. After my trip, I had the opportunity to visit my parents' motherland in Malta with my entire family. It would be the last time we would all be together as a family unit. When I arrived back home, I learned the shocking news that my girlfriend was going to leave me for a man back in Ireland. I wanted her back, and so the concept of this project was born. I originally created a proposal that was structured as a historical documentary. In 2009, I had potential plans of developing this project into a 3D IMAX film. I pitched the idea for the film at the 2009 Giant Screen Cinema Association annual event. I received positive feedback, but got no results. I presented my idea to broadcasters and applied to government and private grants. After a series of rejection letters, I sought further guidance from my former teachers at the Toronto Film School. They suggested I take a bit more personal approach to the film. After revisiting the proposal multiple times and developing a marketing package, once again my efforts were not rewarded. Frustration was evident, and I began to feel like a dog chasing his tail. In the winter of 2009, I met Eva Gingle through a mutual friend named Elaine Robinson. Elaine was a teacher who had worked with me on my fourth documentary, King. Her friend Eva owned a cable company and was looking for staff to teach and produce media for broadcast. By 2010, I was working full-time with Eva as a creative director, and after several discussions with her about a need for new projects, I pitched the Ireland concept. She liked it, and the project was resurrected. It was also during this time that my father became ill. He was in intensive care at the hospital, and I felt extreme pressure to balance my professional and personal duties. I allocated 1 month to film in Ireland. A camper was booked, locations were painstakingly researched, and then mapped out to formulate a road trip taking me across Ireland. I visited my father in the hospital before I left to Ireland. This would be the last time we talked. We had a very rigid and dense schedule, paired with a minimal crew. Eva would take the photographs and assist me when necessary, and I drove and filmed. The last filming took place at the Mourne Wall. At this point I was physically and emotionally exhausted. From Ireland, we traveled to Scotland to film additional footage for Eva's cable company. While in Europe, I took some time to visit my family in Malta. With each phone call to my mother, I realized my father was losing his fight to stay alive. The day after I arrived back home, my father died. After the funeral, the Ireland project helped me to deal with the loss. As I reviewed the footage, my mind and heart wandered back to the time spent in Ireland. As each frame played on the screen, I envisioned how the film would take shape. I decided to rent an old Super 8 projector and began digitizing hundreds of hours of home movies. The process at some points were extremely painful. In the summer of 2012, a rough cut was completed, and spring of 2013 produced the final cut. I hope this project will inspire people to understand the importance of our parents, especially our fathers.